Yeah, a lot of learning experiences for sure on Sunday. Some good stuff, some stuff I need to clean up. Specifically, that end of half sticks out to me. We need to take points there. That's one thing. I took away from that. We need to take points at the end of half, but also some great flashes, some great things from the O-line up front, the receivers, the running backs, myself, and we need to build on it.
What was it like today, getting all the reps in practice?
It was great. It was a great opportunity. We prepared well today. We had a good practice, and we need to do it again tomorrow.
It was really your first time, with
Yeah, it was. It was different for sure. And it's just a part of the process.
What can that do for you? I mean, obviously it was a fire drill last week, and down 21-0, thrown right in. What can those first team reps do for you today and perhaps tomorrow if that's continues to be the case?
Yeah, I think just build a level of comfort and just continue to bank reps. Every rep I get this week is so valuable, and I'm going to take advantage of them. Got a long week to prepare, and like I said, just need to take advantage of these reps I'm getting. They're important.
It looked particularly that first series, it looked like, I don't know what the miles per hour was on those first few passes, but it was probably a little bit more than you normally would in touch-wise. How long did it take to settle in a little bit, and were you ripping it in a little bit too much in those first couple?
Yeah. I think getting back out there in the second half, it definitely started to slow down. The first few series was definitely quick. And I think when you're not quite trusting it yet, things are moving fast, you might put a little extra heat on it to protect yourself, from the people you don't see, from the ghosts maybe, whatever it is, because things are moving. But yeah, in the second half, it definitely started to slow down, started to see it better.
You start Sunday, do you anticipate some nerves early on?
I think that's a part of the game. I've been nervous before any football game I've ever played. I'm excited. It's important. This is everything I've ever done. So there's a level of importance there that it's going to create nerves. But whenever I jog out onto the field and take that first snap, it's gone. It's not there. You're focused because you have no other choice. You really don't.
I know it's practice, but were you like that today? Did you have nerves, or did you just go right in? I've done this so many times before.
Not as many nerves today, really just a focus on the game plan and execution and just going over a million things in my head and just trying to get it right. So not as many nerves today.
Did you like the way you were seeing things as far as your progressions and your reads as a game went on?
Yeah, I did. I thought I was able to settle in nicely. And like I said, in that second half, I was definitely seeing it well. It was slowing down for me, and I was able to get through my reads.
Was it a little strange seeing Adrian back? It's almost like we're back in August.
That's right. Went back in time a little bit. Obviously happy to have him here. He's awesome. Great teammate, great quarterback. I'm excited to have him in the room.
There were some guys after the game, teammates, that were talking about how well you commanded the huddle. How difficult is that to do when you're such a new guy? Obviously you had training camp and most of you guys and whatnot, but what's the dynamic of being confident even when you might not be 100% confident at that moment?
Yeah, I think when you're a new quarterback, a new leader in that situation, it comes down to competence. If your teammates and the people around you know that you're competent at your job and you can do it at a high level, they're going to believe in you. They're going to listen to your command, and I think I've shown that to them. So they believe in me. I know they believe in me. So when I got in that huddle, I trusted on that.
What stands out to you about that Jacksonville defense?
Great run stoppers. They got a very talented front seven, and they're a great team. Great defense, great offense, great special teams, well coached. So it's going to be a great challenge, and we welcome it.
When you look at, I think they got 15 picks on defense. How daunting is that when you obviously know they got a lot of ball hawks there?
Yeah, I think there's ball hawks all across this league, and you need to protect the ball. You got to be smart with it. You got to clasp onto it when you're in trouble and make good decisions in the pocket. So that's going to be an emphasis.
When you get to the league through the path that you did as an undrafted guy, is there a natural chip on the shoulder when you get an opportunity like this?
Yeah, I think that's there. But I think regardless, whether I was a first-round pick or undrafted, sitting right here in this situation, I'd only be thinking about one thing, beating the Jags. And how are we going to do that? It's by preparing this week in practice and meetings. And I really think it's as simple as that.
When you got here initially, what were your, obviously the first hopes to make the team, that kind of thing in the summer. But what were your hopes, and goals, for this year and moving on?
I'd say my goal was to really maximize any opportunity that presented itself. And I feel like I've done that this far, whether it was in training camp, preseason opportunities, opportunities to be elevated earlier this season. And then obviously last week and right now, I think there's a string of opportunities that get presented. And, my goal was just to take advantage of as many of them as I could.
Go back and look at the run defense from last game. I know you flush it 24 hours, but what do you guys have to do better this week?
Gap integrity, and then also just tackling at the point of not just going for the ball, focusing on those turnovers and stuff like that. First man in, getting the tackle, then the second and third man is all the ones to go for the ball.
What do you see from this offense?
This is going to be a consistent offense, and it's going to be more like they're going to run their stuff, and we have to be consistent also, and it's just going to be a battle on who can be more consistent for real. As far as like throughout the whole game, it's nothing like they're doing special or anything like that. It's good running back, good quarterback. He makes good decisions, but not going to force anything.
Need anything for you going back there?
You said what?
For you going back there?
Going back there? Yeah, I like Jacksonville, though. It's cool. The weather's going to be good, too, though. So we've been playing in the cold a lot, so it's going to be good to get some beautiful weather and stuff. But other than that, that's it. None of the people that when I was there is there right now.
When you look at this last stretch of 4 games, what is your hope for?
I don't know. I can't go back 4 games, though. But I can go back. I can go moving forward, though. I like that, moving forward. Moving forward, what I want from my defense is to finish. What I want from my team is to continue to compete, focus on going 1-0 this week, and most importantly, put that DNA on tape as far as like communication, speed, violence, and execution and pride. So.
What kind of challenge does the defense of Jacksonville present?
Yeah, I mean, as you watch the tape, you see they're extremely physical, play really hard. They got really talented edge pieces on the edge of the D line. So, me specifically and the offensive line have a great challenge this week, and we're looking to match that physicality and come out and play with intensity and be able to run the ball and hold up in protection.
How's it been seeing Mason continue to get involved?
Yeah, it's been great. He's a great player. We're excited about him, how he's improved this year, but also came in as a young guy and contributed early. So, it's good to see guys in our room get success, and hopefully we can build on it.
I know you focused on this game, but just in terms of improvement from last week to this week, what are some of the talking points to get better at as a offense?
Yeah, I think stay on the field, do a better job staying on the field, converting third downs, and being more efficient on first and second down to keep their offense off the field. I think will be big this week, and something we need to be better at. So, a lot of focus is on controlling the clock and time of possession, and sustaining drives. I think that's a big focus for us, and we got a good challenge this week to do so. But we're confident. We worked for it all this whole week, and we're ready to go.
Working with Brady this week, what's that been like? I'm sure you haven't gotten a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, you get some work with him during the season. It's a long season, but him getting the majority of this week has been good for him. Controlling the huddle, doing a great job of getting guys in their spots, and getting that experience of a whole week's work is going to be good for him. But we can do a better job of helping him out on the field game day and make sure we're in the right place for him and finish and make some plays for him. He's going to do a good job. He's been not skipping a beat this week, so we're excited for him, and we'll have his back.
When you have a young player like that, can you see day-to-day improvement? You've had quarterbacks the past the same guy overall. Have you seen him getting better from Wednesday to Thursday?
Yeah, I mean, you see him getting better all year. He's made some throws this year, earlier in the season, where you look as an offense and say, "Wow, it's an NFL throw," and he does a great job in the huddle, like I said. And I think a big part of being a quarterback is operating with efficiency and confidence, and you got 11 guys to make sure they're in the right place at the right time, and there's a lot going on, but I think he's done a great job of processing that and stepping into this role. And like I said, we're excited to see him roll on Sunday, and hopefully give him a chance to be successful.
With the kick and punt return, you're a big part of the blocking for that. What's been clicking so well this year?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, the guys we got back there are special. They're playmakers, so that gives you confidence as a blocker to you just got to get connected, and they'll make you right. But, credit goes to Banjo, Coach Jet, Coach O'Day. They do a lot of work. They're here all day, and, they've been getting us into some really great schemes for our opponents. And, we've been clicking, and those guys make us right. So, it's exciting to see those guys get recognized, and, it's cool to be a part of it and have the feeling that if you just, do your 111th, that something special could happen.